Well, I go along with that. I go along with Rod Willett too. He said that they've got some ruthless supporters. The most ruthless of them sit right in front of us here.
Yes.
They picked their seats pretty well as we're about to get underway with season 2009 as far as our ABC grandstand football coverage goes. Down there's a free kick in the middle of the ground. Coonan takes it for West Perth, gives it to Josh Pearce. Pearce wobbles one, well inside 50. Coming out to meet the ball there was Chambers. Took it well, the hand pass to Salisic. He wants to go backwards as well and gives it to Pearce, who was taken in a good tackle. See, that could have been almost holding the ball. The umpire
opportunity.
Yes, he was taken almost as he took possession, and it was Webster who applied that tackle. Good choice, I think, of East Perth to make him a co-captain this afternoon. Robinson, number 40, did some ruck work. Tackle's fair, said the umpire, and again the whistle goes. The umpires this afternoon, umpires Panagopoulos, Scott McPhee and Chris Pattinson, and Chris Pattinson was actually named the umpire of the pre-season. Scored by East Perth. Now it's Salisic who goes with a high up and under, but gets a bit of distance with the breeze. Hancock, here's a chance now for Saylor. Saylor kicks the first goal of the match. Well, Todd Ridley mentioned that he walked it off the street. That's a pretty handy play to walk it off the street. He rode that beautifully and made no mistake with the snapshot.
And that's exactly what Bill Monaghan expects from this young bloke. Bit of ink on his arm there, but geez, he looks quick, Ken, and was in the right spot at the right time, and he's got to get under Lacra's feet every time the ball comes in.
Third man up was Lacra, took the ball out of the contest, hand passes to Chambers. The ball he just couldn't control it. He may get another chance. He will. He followed up beautifully, did Callum Chambers. Now the hand pass to Gordon. He's right on the 50. Chips it into the pocket. That was a good pass. It's a difficult angle for Salaikas, so he gets around onto his right foot. That was good, quick thinking, and Goggles has taken the mark about 20 metres out directly in front. They set that up pretty well, West Perth.
Well, they did. You can't deny East Perth's endeavour, but you just get the impression that they're a bit slicker, West Perth, aren't they? I mean, East Perth are hanging in and putting good defensive pressure on.
Yep, this is
best work's been done defensively, isn't it, really, rather than attackingly?
I mean, just then in that play then, 3 very good kicks. They just look on top of their game at the moment. It is only early, but
this is the one they want to be a good kick. Gobbles comes in, stabs at it, but makes absolutely no mistake. So West Perth, after taking about 10 minutes to kick their first goal, have now kicked their second. They have 2 goals straight. East Perth just the one behind, and so the Falcons by 11 points. Inboard to Hutchins. Low pass from that player, just cleared a West Perth player. Now Hutchins gives it on now. Falling effort from Danny Byrne. He's become prominent. That was a good, clever mark too by Hancock, who can play at either end of the ground. One of his main strengths is his overhead marking.
Very good. He just had the sit on the West Perth player then. The player backed in wing trying to make a contest in contact, and he just stood his ground.
Important he didn't use those hands either, Ken, or else he would have been given a free kick against, as East Perth kicked their first goal for 2009, and badly needed one.
Just a point in it. East Perth have fought back extremely well. Tedesco.
That's trouble.
Oh, stabs it down the corridor. Duncan was there for East Perth. Hit the contest hard. Got it to Noakes. Noakes, the best and fairest winner from last year, has snapped it with the left boot. And East Perth, I think, justifiably have hit the front almost on the siren of quarter time. Good afternoon to our viewers up there in Southern Cross. Ball in. No one got a hand to it. A bit of aerial ping pong. Chance there for Rice. He got the hand pass off. Now to Anderson. Anderson, it wasn't a very tidy looking kick. In the end, it should have been marked by Gobbles, but now he gets a second chance. That's a good centering kick. Can they take advantage? There was a bit of wrestling going on there whilst the ball's in flight. And if you don't mind, West Perth are going to get the benefit of it.
Well, he took his eye off the ball. The East Perth defender, he was gone. And he took his eye off the ball. Look, he had the sit on him, Lacra. What the East Perth defender needed to do, which was Stratton, he needed to back into him. And what he did was he actually turned in front of him.
As soon as he took
Once you take your eyes off the ball.
The umpire had no other choice but to award the free kick, and he should kick this, Lacra, and he has.
He has. Brent Lacra straight through the middle. So in the first minute and a half of the quarter, West Perth have regained the lead, albeit just by 1 point.
I must have lost me invite.
No, you didn't. You weren't invited. Okay. Ball up. Chance here now for East Perth. Snap on goal by Duncan. And it landed in the hands of Noakes. Yes, it is. And Noakes snaps. Now, he snapped a brilliant goal in the first quarter with Gobbles and Webster just getting involved in a bit of pushing and shoving there.
Both holding on team, mate.
Anderson. Down to Chambers, who was taking a running tackle by Noakes. Now Rice picks the ball up, gives it to Salicic. Salicic with great speed runs into an open goal and kicks one. Well, that is pretty trademark Jason Salicic. He just read the ball in quite beautifully, rode the ball once it hit the ground, and now the passionate West Perth supporters have got something to be on their feet about. Ben Noakes has been busy, goes with a short pass. Wasn't a particularly good one for Johnston because he's not a tall player. Hunt fell over, got the hand pass away, and then it deflected straight past him again, and a high tackle, says the umpire. Well, he's picked out a free kick to East Perth. We'll have to rely on the replay for this one, I think.
That's David Panagopoulos. Umpire David Panagopoulos, very experienced umpire. We'll get this in. He's not very often wrong, Ken, let me tell you.
Yeah. I tell you what, they just looked a bit shaky down back West Perth, haven't they?
Oh, well,
just went over the top of him.
Well, no, it was a bit soft, but technically correct, and the East Perth player should kick this.
And Robinson does just that. He's rucked pretty well, Robinson. He does a lot of hard work around the ground as well. On this occasion, he got the high tackle, and the East Perth supporters happy with his kick. Robinson gets his first of the day.
Free kick.
Free kick to Chambers got tripped over.
Yeah,
well, Mitch Anderson, he did a full 360 looking for someone to hand pass it to, and eventually got it off to Tedesco.
Mitch Andrews, Phil.
Sorry?
Mitch Andrews.
What did I say?
Yeah, I was going to say that's got to be 50 metres.
Chambers.
You know, the disappointing thing from that point of view is that Ben Noakes tripped him or pushed him into the square. Chambers got himself up, but they got a free kick and then continued on in one possession. Like, if you're going to be close to him in that situation, you've got to be with him when the ball's in play.
When it matters, exactly.
Yeah, and then he's gone over the mark and given away 50.
Well, this is not going to make Tony McCall happy.
I was about to say, Tony McCall's the sort of bloke who will take him straight off the ground and have a few words to him.
Well, it's a goal at the other end of the ground, and now they're just giving one back because Chambers goes back with the aid of the 50 metres. He was only 35 out in front. He's put it straight through, and it just nullifies that goal that East Perth had to work hard for at the other end. And was he held without it? Yep, he was. Sailor's going to get the free kick. No, Lacroix. That was off the ball.
Long way off the ball.
Okay. So Brent Lacroix, I wasn't watching him, I was watching Sailor.
Yeah, there's no tall option back in the goal square. Young Sailor's back there, but...
That's a terrible kick. He kicked it with his sock, and it's fallen short of its mark, and it's been taken there by Buick, making his debut.
Well, Matthew McGrath from East Perth had his back turned. Yep. He was running back towards the goal and it's dropped short.
Well, he probably didn't anticipate that Lacroix was going to kick it with his shin.
He did miscue it, didn't he?
And there's a pretty good name up in the West Perth country with young Rowan Buick making his debut, left footer. He's got a twin brother. He's kicked his first goal, and all the West Perth players have run to him. Of course, the son of Corey Buick, yes, and nephew to Richard, Glenn and Darren.
Got it from Gordon. Tedesco to Hunt. East Perth need to stand firm right now because West Perth are just playing a possession game. They're getting the ball down the ground too easily. Chance here for Green. Green's got Salicic, and he was just about off.
I was about to say he'll take him on here, but he didn't.
Short pass
Chip over
to Salicic. Good foot pass, good lead, a good mark. And if this kick is true by Salicic, then East Perth will be very disappointed because they've had their opportunities at the other end of the ground.
Yeah, tough shot from here, Ken.
A bit of the ball for that last 5 minutes or so in their forward line. Didn't get a result for it. And to get a goal at the other end, it's a bit of a double whammy, isn't it?
The breeze stiffening and blowing across Salicic from right to left, but he allows for it. He kicks those at training all the time, and West Perth get the late goal. It has just ticked over a little bit more than 30 minutes in this second quarter, and the lead is now stretched out to 16 points. Bag. Salicic was pulled off it, maybe didn't have it. Nice slick pick up there by
up in the middle here.
Rice to Crisp. Yeah, Andrews was on as well, but Crisp called him out of it. Runs to 50, sends it on play. Well, some shabby defensive work by East Perth, or at least work trying to bring the ball away from the defensive zone, came unstuck and created an opportunity for Crisp, who has kicked his first goal in WAFL footy.
Here we go.
Tiger Woods.
Oh, there we go. That is
Dan Hunt, he won't want to see that again. He'll be putting that to the back of his mind. And
but they've just looked shabby at times down the back, West Perth, haven't they? As good as they've been, but as good as they've been, West Perth in their forward stuff, geez, the defensive they looked a bit rattly.
These Perth goals come nearly from every West Perth mistake.
now it's a good leap there by Coonan, and Coonan's going to get the free kick. He leapt highest, and the umpire said you had no right to the footy mirror. So penalising Merrington. Harvey lets it bounce. He probably should have been a little bit more desperate on that occasion. Well, he could have been holding the ball. That one he's been treated leniently with. Bobbles from the wing. Yeah, he got around Merrington pretty easily. Now straightens up onto his right boot. Gets plenty of distance with the kick. Lacroix always had the sit. He was always in better position, and I think that you've got to take your hat off to the kicker as well, because it was pretty well kicked to the advantage of Brent Lacroix, who in the end had no trouble taking the mark.
Well, it was a bit too easy, wasn't it, really?
It was 2-on-1 there, Ken. And
he was third man. He was third man up. Yeah, he's third man in line. And
it was 2-on-1, but neither of the two were terribly close in body to Lacroix.
No, it was a very good kick, good delivery, just how the full forwards like it. He didn't have to break stride, and it was just set up perfectly for him. And Brent Lacroix kicks his third goal, Ken.
Yep.
One in each quarter so far. They need to go back to adopting that, I think.
Andrews. Sharking it, though, was Duncan. This one floats across the face. Strike and Mills wrestling. The umpire says you're holding each other. Hutchings gets the hand pass up to Duncan, who snaps at goal, and that's a great snap from a very promising young player. Both Hutchings and Duncan, the two 17-year-olds, playing a part in that one, and that, to say the least, was a very important goal and a badly needed one to the Royals. Did to Crisp, who fought his way through the pack. Got a well-earned kick up towards centre wing, taken by Menegola, who plays on. Kicks towards the hot spot at centre half forward. The bounce beat everyone except Frank Agostino. Onto the left boot, directs it out in front of McGrath. Solid player, McGrath. Gee, I thought he was pulled off the footy, but he didn't have it.
Well, he was, Phil.
Oliver lending support to Pickering. McGrath. Was it touched? It wasn't 15. It didn't matter, so it goes back to Crisp. Crisp now, a long kick up toward full forward. The Breeze had some carry. Here'll be a goal for Lacroix. Never are they any easier than that. The ball carried the pack. McGrath recovered, I beg your pardon, Lacroix recovered so beautifully, and he's been able to kick his fourth goal of the match.
And it just came from a quick kick out of a pack by West Perth players. East Perth trying to hit up with the short pass most of the time, where West Perth got the ball. There might have been Crisp, just put it onto his boot.
It was, yeah.
There we go. It was a torpedo. It was a fantastic kick, but it got it into the dangerous area very quickly.
Well, it got some extra length because of the torpedo, didn't it?
And East Perth didn't have time to get back. So sometimes just a quick, ugly kick forward pays off, and that time it did.
Crisp has been quite good. Lacroix, the goal scorer. Crisp from the Coolin area, which has been a very fertile recruiting ground for West Perth over many years. Robinson palmed it down beautifully to Hutchings. Kicks the ball low into the breeze, and this time Noakes is sure with his hands. Gets around onto his left boot, shoots on goal. Merrington marks in the goal square, so he'll take the kick from directly in front. We can put this one down. So a quick reply to East Perth.
All too easy that was, wasn't it?
Well, I guess Tony McHale must be saying, look, well, if it's that easy, why can't we do it more often? I mean, it was a classic tap by Robinson straight down to Hutchings, and very often this afternoon Noakes has been the target going into the attacking 50, but he just hasn't been able to hold his marks.
Yeah, and Merrington, who's been pretty quiet for his standards, getting into the play. He looks like he's going to full forward.
So there are a couple that can lift.
Okay, push him, Pato.
Dan Hunt with the job on Andrew Merrington. So let's go back to the middle of the ground and see whether or not Robinson can combine with his smaller brigade out there again, as he did so well then with Hutchings. Now the umpire just reminding Salisic and Byrne that they've got to leave a clear space behind the umpire so he can extricate himself after the bounce. Coonan got a hand at this one. Gordon hurriedly to Crisp, but the ball rebounded straight back past him. Salisic gave it off quickly by hand to Bartholomew up toward the half-forward line. Here's Saylor again. Goes to ground. Oliver flicked the ball back behind him. Agostino with some clever soccer work, but there's Crisp again. He's really becoming very prominent. Short pass to Lacroix. Hand pass to Chambers. Chambers will line them up from 35 metres, and Chambers kicks the goal. wants to use Hum again.
Kick it.
Runs himself into a bit of a predicament, then goes short to Johnston, and this could be their last shot at goal. No, it won't be. Johnston uses Duncan, and Duncan runs into goal and kicks his second. Well, that is a late goal. 27 minutes have gone in the term, and East Perth, well, they just persevered. I thought they were going to murder the footy there for a while. They looked a little bit shaky, but they kept possession. Ended up with Duncan, and he is playing a most impressive game.
He ran hard then, the kid. They're still going
Just
around in
keeps in
circles,
touch,
Ken.
doesn't it? Yeah.
Still going around in circles, overusing the ball, taking the wrong decisions. But like you say, they're not completely out of the game, but they've been outplayed.
Well, often in the first game of a season, you find that fitness does play a part in the end. That breeze, I reckon, spin is strengthening again, and East Perth are going to come home with it, which could be telling.
Bounce, ready?
Robinson, strong in ruck opposed to Andrews. Hutchins does well to get the hand pass off to Johnston. They've got time for one more. East Perth inside attacking 50. Strike is there, tackled off it by Duncan. Good hand pass from Mills. He gave it to Macaulay. Macaulay's kick, a low one. Looking there for Merrington. Merrington keeps it alive. Now it's Mills again. I beg your pardon, it's Rice again. Gives it off to Pearce. That might be enough for West Perth. In fact, they might have time for another score. Pearce's kick, a little bit too long for the intended lead. Robinson and Lacroix tied well.
Yeah, it was too high.
It was high, but gee, Lacroix did well. He met Robinson front on, and then
there you go.
Inadvertently, the tackle was high.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. But they're still playing around with it, East Perth.
Oliver playing attacking football, so too Johnston. To the backup of Oliver, goes short. Hutchings, the hand pass has come astray, but Oliver's followed up the footy beautifully. Forward. He gives it off there to Hutchins, to Cowell. Have they overdone it, or can Hancock kick a goal? Hancock shoots and gets a late one. They've got the last two of the quarter, have the Royals, and they are not only in touch, they are in this game. They trail by just 2 kicks.
Don't like the way they're moving it, though, again. It's
a bit shaky, but they're taking West Perth on.
But you saw in there, forward of the centre, there's about 5 of them just running hard forward, and maybe the call from Tony McCarl's come out, just everyone back yourself, run hard, because when they were 24 points down, they got nothing to lose, so they might turn it around by just all running forward, running hard for themselves. Yeah,
playing conservative footy when you're 4 goals behind.
It's not going to get you anywhere.
It's not going to get you there. But now they're well and truly in touch.
Yep.
Don't push him in.
It's only 12 points to margin all of a sudden.
It's been a very entertaining game. And I'll tell you what, it's just about evened up at East Randall Oval as well. I think the Sharks are a couple of points in front.
That's young Harvey pushed the young Ben Noakes inside the square.
Well, Robinson takes the kick, and Robinson finds Mills. He thinks he's too far out to score. Now he's called to play on. Sets it up out in front there of a man who is leading into space, and that's Stratton.
Well, this is the kid who got...
Can he get the distance?
This is a young fellow
who started the other end, didn't he?
Yeah, he started at full back on Lacroix, and he got 2 goals kicked on him. He did come off the ground early in this quarter, but has come back on, and Tony McHale throwing the whiteboard up in the air, and he's landed down at full forward. I think he would be too far out to score from here.
Well, he's got to start it well out to the right, which he does. I tell you what, he's made the distance, and he's allowed for the breeze beautifully. East Perth had kicked the last 3 goals in 5 minutes, and all of a sudden, it's just 1 goal in it.
I apologise to Ben Stratton. He certainly will make the distance from there, Ken. I haven't seen much of him.
It's a tough spot to kick it from, with that cross breeze, and he's allowed beautifully. And,
certainly is. He's kicked it right on the 50 as well, and that is a good kick.
It's a no-nonsense kicking style. He just guided it onto his boot really well, made good contact.
He's gone down to full forward, so he's played both back and forward, and I bet you he's pretty happy he's up there now.
Maybe the wind isn't as strong, Tom.
Yes, that's right, Rod.
Salicic, half a kick, but it goes to Ben Noakes, who's been good from the middle of the ground. Sends East Perth forward again. They get it to right half forward flank. Charging at the footy there with Strike and Dan Hunt. Yeah. They both went to the ground, and the free kick is going to be Strike, who was struck and will get the free. Now he's got Salicic on short, and Salicic is the man. There it was in replay.
Not much in it, but
no, he made sure the umpire saw it. This is Gordon. Kicks it long. Nearly a good mark taken down there by Salakis, but East Perth showing more confidence. A good one-handed pick-up by Agostino. Got it off to Oliver, who was taken in a tackle, and the umpire will bounce it. Well, Oliver's been instrumental in this quarter in running the ball off half-back.
Back after the ball up.
Umpire throws it up. Andrews and Merrington. Agostino got the kick away. Salicic is the player closest to it. It bounced up beautifully for him. Sends it out wide. Lacroix with far too much space. Well, I'm not so sure who's supposed to be manning him up. Certainly it's not Craig Wolfe. And whoever it is a long way from him. I think it's Frank Agostino.
Well, Agostino is his direct opponent here.
He backs himself like that, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Frank?
important goal here, or important shot on goal.
Well, if he starts it out to the left, Judgy, the breeze will bring it back for him. He will know that.
Just like that.
And look at that. Well, Brent Lacroix has now kicked 5 goals, and 3 of them in this term. There's the siren. So that one right on the siren is going to sting EPerth as they go to their three-quarter time huddle. They did not need that one. They'd worked so hard to get to within a goal. And as the players leave the ground, or at least head towards their respective huddles at three-quarter time, it is WPerth who hold a 2-goal lead. They are 13 goals 5, 83. EPerth clinging on, 10 goals 11, 71. So here we go for the final quarter. WPerth holding a 2-goal lead as the umpire bounces the ball in the middle of arena. Joondalup, a good ball up as well. Up on Andrews. He palmed it down brilliantly to Gordon, who sank the right boot into it. Bounces unkindly for Salicic. Leaping onto it, there was Cunin. Hand pass knocked away creatively by Salicic to Chambers, who then kicks the ball back into the corridor and finds Strike. Early goal will help by WPerth. One bounce, steady. Strike shoots and kicks it.
Yep.
Well, first blood of the final term to WPerth, and that was very, very easy. Started by that man to the left of the screen in Mitch Andrews, who got it down brilliantly to Gordon and ahead. He got rid of Guata. Pickering.
Good courage, son.
Great courage.
Take that.
Here's a chance for Hancock to Danny Byrne. Can they get one back? Byrne on the left boot. And he's got it. Yeah, a great Rovers goal there by Danny Byrne. They needed to get that initial goal back, and they have done just that. So the umpire just urging the players to have eyes for the football.
See the ruckman here. He's got a 2. There he goes again. He's won it again.
Palmed it beautifully down to
3 in a row.
Pierce still after the footy after he gave the hand pass off, but it's Cowell who emerges from the fray, sends the ball forward, out in front of Mills. This time he juggles the mark.
He's just going to go back and steady it here, Mills. Really should go back.
This is exactly where Lacroix gets his from.
Yeah, he's an experienced player, Andrew Mills. He's been around for quite some time. But I don't think the distance will worry him, Judgy, but he just needs to go back and slot this through.
He's gone back a long way,
He has gone back. He's pushing off the fence, like DK used to do.
So he'll have to kick from right on, or even just outside 50, right on the line almost. Distance is not going to be a problem. What's he done? He's kicked a great goal from out there. That was a little bit further out than Lacroix's right on three-quarter time. EPerth fans happy with that, and the margin back to 1 goal. Tedesco, who's been very good in the last line, uses it short to Guata, to Crisp.
All the young kids at WPerth have been pretty good today. There's another one.
Despite the attention from Johnston, he took a strong mark. Good kick and a good mark again by WPerth. Desperate to keep possession. They're doing that pretty well. Now Gobbles is going to get a 50, is he?
That was French.
Perth player, is whacked Rice.
Yeah, and the umpire's pointed at Frank Agostino. Should know better than that. He's playing game number 99. And he can have a shot from here.
There's no one on the mark.
Goebbels?
Oh, it's now Humming.
Gobbles or Goebbels?
Gobbles.
Gobbles.
And there it is. It wasn't Frank Agostino.
Sorry, Frank.
What's that?
It would be
I didn't think Frank would do something like that.
It would be legal action against you if you're not careful.
It was Peter.
Now Gobbles comes to 49 metres, sends a great kick on the way. So well done by Jeff Gobbles. He's had a very good match, and that was a terrific shot on goal. He's got 2 for the afternoon, 1 in the first quarter and 1 at the 9.5-minute mark of this final term. And well, to concede a goal is one thing, but to concede a goal from a 50-metre penalty does hurt. This time he finds Hutchings on the burst. Hutchings down to Byrne. Byrne has got Johnston inboard. That's the way the pass goes. They've got it all of a sudden to half forward. Johnston is 60 metres out. Goes with a long ball. Should find Merrington. Well, that's a quick transference.
Yeah, he needs to go back and slot this, Andrew. He's one of their most experienced players, a very good goal kicker. Not the easiest shot, but he still should just take his time, maybe run around a bit.
He'll be 31 in November. Andrew
Just
Merrington.
a young man, Phil. Banana kick, Ken, or just drop punt?
Drop punt, I think,
Yeah, looks like it. The umpire will be putting him off
towards a...
There he goes.
He knows what he's doing.
He's done it well. Well done, Andrew Merrington. Gee, they needed to get that one back. They're just getting the goals when they desperately need them to make the distance. Agostina. Players are keeping us on the edges of our seats. Webster. The kick was just too long for Cal. Salisic has been quite brilliant. Accelerates away. Now steadies. Short pass. Oliver does brilliantly again to bring the ball to the ground. And Saylor, can he get the ball out to Lacroix? Lacroix, he kept it alive for Salisic. Across his body, the undisciplined centering kick. And running into the space and taking the chest mark was Anthony Salakis.
Well played, Jason Salisic there.
He runs hard, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. It was just a clever kick back into the corridor over the left, over his right shoulder with his left boot. Didn't know who was there, but gave Salakis enough time to run onto it. And a very important kick for West Perth.
What does he do with it?
He
sends it out to the right. I think he's happy enough with it. He pumps the fist. West Perth may have done enough as Anthony Salakis kicks his second.
Yeah, that's again East Perth just turning it over Ken at the critical time. It was Cowell who's out on his feet at the moment. He couldn't put a tackle on Jason Salisic on the outer wing there, and they just went forward. And there you see that kick. It was just a nothing kick, but it was just gave it enough height, enough time for Salisic to run onto it, and with his bit of an awkward kicking style, puts it through, pumps the air, and it's a welcome return for him for 2009 after travelling last year.
22 minutes in, you think that might be enough?
I think that's enough, and I think Tony McCall thinks they might just have seen it out this afternoon.
Don't know whether it's a coincidence, but Mills is on the bench also for East Perth.
Mills, a lot's been asked of Mills in this final quarter spin as Cowell gets it out to Byrne, and he just hasn't quite done enough when the ball's gone down to him in the forward line. Noakes dribbles the ball off the left boot. Macaulay does well to give it off, and there's going to be a free kick because Macaulay got one in the back in the act of hand passing. He was carried forward.
It's right on his distance here. Ken, you'd think 40 metres out.
Well, he's kicking with the breeze, so straight in front.
Oh, Macaulay's a powerful kick. He will make the distance.
Very gettable.
Very important kick too.
But they are 13 points in arrears, so
Lammy, I just wrote them off, and they're going to kick a goal here and be back in it again.
Yeah, but time is going to be against them because it's 23 minutes into the term. Macaulay. Either way, this is a big kick. If they're going to get up, he's got to kick this, sends it on its way. I told you, he was a powerful kick. It's gone through a goalpost high, and then about 3 or 4 rows back. Not that there are any rows behind the goals there, but
it would have been.
It would have been. So they're still in touch. 7 points, and they have got time if they're good enough. They need this centre clearance. This becomes the most important centre clearance of the day for the Royals.
I think the time's going to get them.
Yeah,
East Perth. They
so.
Just can't get enough clean ball. Let's get some clean ball down the ground from here, don't they, to be a chance?
Stratton gives it to Pickering. Yep, they need to run, carry the ball, move it over long distances. That's what Pickering intended to do. But Pierce did well enough to force the ball over the line for another throw-in. Time continues to tick away. Good crowd in, and by and large, everyone's been entertained by a very, very good game this afternoon. Both sides giving it their all. Rice conspired somehow to get it away to Strike. Strike's kick is a poor one. Noakes needs to get on with it quickly. He does, but it's all too late. The siren has gone, and West Perth fans are absolutely jubilant. They did it the hard way, and the players just showing there how much a first-up win means to them. The West Perth theme song blaring out over the ground. So I mentioned they did it the hard way. East Perth very gallant in defeat this afternoon. But finally, West Perth, 16 goals, 7, 103, wearing East Perth down. 14-12, 9-6, the margin, just 7 points.